Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Kika Odan here, and today we're going to be talking about things that you should know before you learn sign language, or before you decide to learn sign language, or if you've already started learning, just things that you should know about sign language that they don't really say out there, they don't really put out there. But this is from my personal experience, and if you currently know how to, if you currently do sign language, or you understand sign language, or interpret with sign language, you can put in the comments below on other things that you've also observed from your own point of view. But all the points I'll be giving today are based on what I experienced while I was learning, or what I experienced from when I started learning till now. And I started the sign language. I started my sign language learning process since February 2019. Okay, so let's get right into this video. Number one, the sign language is very volatile. So if today you learn the alphabet and you don't practice it every day, well, for me, I practice it every morning and evening. Immediately I wake up, I will sign what I learned, and before I go to bed, I'll sign what I learned, just to keep reminding myself, especially if you don't have someone you're going to be practicing or signing with in your around you. So if you keep practicing every day, it allows it to stick more, or allows it to stick better. So if you come to the channel today and you learn alphabet, and you leave tomorrow and you don't practice it until the next time you're watching it, there is a very high chance that you're going to forget it. If you don't have someone to practice sign language with, you need to keep practicing it on your own every day or every other day. So if today you watch this video and you watch one of the sign language learning videos and you leave and you realize that oh, I already know this, tomorrow you have to practice it. You have to practice what you learned. If not, I promise you would have forgotten it. I promise you. Number two, like I said, the first point is it's a volatile language, but so you have to practice. I don't know how to keep reassuring you or keep telling you. I can't say this enough. Practice. You have to practice this, especially if you don't have someone around you to practice with, or you don't have someone with hard of hearing around you to interpret with or communicate with. If not, you will definitely forget. Number three, pace yourself. Okay, so I know that. So while I was learning, my first class, I was like, oh, what's the sign for this? What's the sign for this? And our teacher was just like, calm down. And I did not. In my mind, I'm like, let me know. Do you get, like, you will still teach me one day? Just tell me what the sign is today. And I can promise you that half of the things you told me that day, I had forgotten it. In fact, I forgot it immediately I left that place. Why? Because a lot of the signs you learn are based off of some things. For example, if I want to, what I'm trying to say before I give my example is you need to pace yourself. So it is from you can't, the way you learned English and you started from the alphabet, and then from alphabet you started to 3-letter words, to 4-letter words, to 5-letter words, 6-letter words. It's the same way you're going to be learning sign language. You can't just pop in here and believe that, oh, you know what, I've taken this sign and I'm going. No, because even people who interpret, they tend to forget words much more you who are just learning. So you need to pace yourself. You need to allow yourself to remember the things step by step. For example, if I tell you this word, if I tell you this in sign language is authority, but the only way you'll be able to remember is if I tell you that, okay, this is A, this is the letter A, and this is the letter authority. Or if I want to tell you the word, maybe I want to tell you king. I want to teach you king. If I tell you in sign language, king is this, like that of the shell, of a strap, and using the K letter. If you do not know what the letter K is already, remembering this is going to be a little hard, because you just remember that, no, I know king, what's king, how is the hand? But if you already know your alphabet, you will be able to remember that, okay, it is K that goes like a shield or goes like a strap for your sword, that you know, remember, oh, king. Number 4, you have to be dedicated. Dedication. Like I said, it's a volatile language. So if you're not dedicated to learning it, or you're not dedicated to practicing it, or you're not dedicated to keep coming to learn it, you will forget. And once you forget, you're starting all over. Yeah, you might remember maybe when someone reminds you, like, oh, I know that word. Oh, that's what they taught me, but you're forgetting it slowly. It's so bad that during the lockdown, when I was at home, I was not practicing and I was not signing, because most times when I sign in church on Sundays. And the first Sunday I had to go back to church and sign, oh my God, I literally forgot word. And you know how you say word of God, like you remember, like word is a word that W-O-R-D is a W-O-R-D is a word that I like. I don't think there's a preacher that preaches without mentioning the word of God. So when they're saying word, literally, as I was trying to remember, I could not remember word, like word in sign language. I could not remember it. It was, you know, I had to tell my supervisor that, okay, you know what, she needs to carry on, because I'm clearly lost. I clearly do not know what I'm signing anymore. I have forgotten a lot of my words, which kind of shows on your face, because your body language already gives off, oh, I'm confused and I don't know what I'm signing anymore. You know, and from there, people that are watching are already like, she doesn't know what she's signing. Why am I even watching? Do you understand? So you need to be dedicated, so that even when you don't get a chance to practice, when it seems like you're tired or you don't want to do it, you need to remind yourself, oh, I'm dedicated to this cause and I will have to learn it. That's why if you notice, a lot of people who understand sign language, or a lot of people who sign, are maybe they have a loved one who is hard of hearing, and they have to, you know, they have to sign with that person. So that dedication, you dedicate yourself to understanding or communicating to your partner, to your friend, to your brother, to your sister, to your family member, to that loved one, is what drives you to learn sign language. Number 5, if a word comes, if they give you a word, if maybe as I'm speaking to you, I say the word astonished, if you don't know the word, spell it. If you don't understand what they're saying, tell them to spell it. So get used to spelling things and understand that you cannot know all the words. Also, if they say a word, and you cannot spell it, or you don't know the sign for that word, sign the synonym of it. For example, SAFE, which is safe, is like this. SAVE, which is save, is also like this. Apart from that, astonished, if you were to sign astonished, I mean, we like that spelling ASTO, no, it's too long. Especially when we're having a conversation, what do? I sign surprise. You get, oh, she was surprised. They understand what you're trying to say, and you've communicated what you're saying, because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is communicate, and communication means sameness of meaning. So who you're talking to or who you're signing to has to understand what you're saying, and has to understand what I'm saying, and then information has been communicated between each other. Number 6, this is one mistake that people make, whether you sign or not. They make this mistake by calling them, oh, they're deaf and dumb. No. 1, they don't appreciate that statement because it's demeaning. 2, because some of them are not. Some of them can speak, but they can't hear. Now, because they've never heard what they are supposed to say, they can't really speak. They can't really say the words. 2, some of them can speak. Some of them can hear, but they can't speak. So because they're hearing what you're saying, they can't say it. They're like, what you're hearing and what you're saying, they work together. Because how do you learn English language? They tell you what you're supposed to say. They teach you how to say it with your mouth or with your tongue, and then you have understood English language, for example, or your language. But for sign language, because they either can't speak or they can't hear, or maybe they can hear but it is muffled and it is not really clear. I mean, like, kudos people who are able to get implants in their ears and have a surgery to fix one of their issues. And then if you even notice, a lot of people who are hard of hearing, which is the right term to use when you're talking to someone who does not speak, does not hear, or does not do either. If someone you have to communicate to with sign language, you call them people who are hard of hearing, not deaf, not dumb, hard of hearing. So if you ever have to talk to someone, just be like, don't say, "Are you deaf? Can you hear me?" No, all that is very insensitive and very demeaning. And those people, if they don't like you, if they're insulting you, will not know, because they are signing the insults. And you just be there like, but they have insulted you. They've insulted you. Do you get? So you need to be able to empathize with them. And when you're even describing them to someone else, don't say, "Oh, that deaf and dumb girl." No, that girl who is hard of hearing is a better statement than deaf and dumb girl. All right, cool. Number 7, when you eventually start learning sign language or you eventually start signing, you need to hold your attention while you're signing, especially if you're interpreting, because if I have to keep looking at you when you're doing something, my eyes will get sleepy and I will get tired and I become weak, and then that's when they start to seem like they are sleeping off, but really they are just tired. I've forgotten the name they call it when their eyes are so focused, so they become so tired, and then they tend to start doing like this, and you might think they are sleeping off, but most times they might be sleeping off, I won't lie, but most times they're very tired because they have to keep looking at you. Once they look away, they have missed a word and they might not understand what you're saying anymore. So when you're trying to hold your attention while you're signing, sometimes when you're signing, for example, so let me give you an example of a word that means 2 things, and it is in the way you have. If I do something like this, someone who is watching me just looking at me like, "What are you doing?" But if you hold your attention by maybe giving off your facial expression or a body language, and you're like, that means afraid. From your face, from the way you are, like, you need to adjust, because they can't hear what you're saying. They are reading your body language, which is, sign language is half body language and part of what you're also signing. So if I'm saying that, they can say that, "Oh, I'm afraid," and like, from your body language in which they can tell what you are saying, and they can understand and feel it also. If I come and tell you, yes, because you know the word thirst, you know that I'm thirsty, but I come and do, it allows you to understand what I am feeling, and it allows you to to also feel it. So because they can't hear you, they can't exactly see, they can only use their eyes and their heads to understand what you're saying or what you're doing. So they need to see their eyes and you see your whole body and say, "Oh, okay, she's thirsty." Or you say, "Oh, I'm in pain." But come, what's wrong with you? It's like, what's wrong with your pain? But we do, because, "Oh, she's in pain." And they are even, that is, you use your facial expressions to further imply or further emphasize on what you are feeling or what you're trying to communicate with them. So number 8, when you're signing, you should wear bright colors. So I mean, like, if I'm going to come and teach you one letter, if I'm teaching you, I'm showing you the signs separately, but if I have to keep my eyes focused on you, I will appreciate a plain color that is not too bright, that's going to hurt my eye, but it's also not too dull, that's going to make me feel sleepy. So like a blue, for example, like not a light blue, or like a regular blue color will work. you know. But just always be conscious of, especially if the lighting in the environment in which you'll be signing in is not bright. You will not want to also wear a dark color so that they can't see your hands, because your hands are on your chest area. So yeah, so you need to wear clothes that will not allow them to feel tired or feel like they're too busy. You know, your clothing can't be too busy for them, because they're looking at your body constantly, and if your clothing are affecting their eyes, well, it is affecting their eyes, and like I said, they will get tired, they will get weary, and you have lost them. I remember when I was learning how to sign, you can see from their faces that because they know that you are signing, I won't say you're signing rubbish, because they know that you are still learning and you're taking your time, they're already like, and then they start to gist amongst themselves, and you really can't do anything about it, because even if you try and bring their attention back and they look at you and you're still confused, or you're still, you know, just no, you've lost them. Once you lose them, you lose them, literally. So most times, not every time, most times. Number 9. Okay, so in learning sign language, it is one thing for you to learn to interpret, and there's another thing for you to understand when they are signing to you. I won't even lie, I still have challenges understanding when they are signing to me, because okay, so there are like 2 tips in this one, which is number 9. They're like 2 tips in one, and the first one is they will never sign the way you sign. So I know that, for example, if I want to say, oh, this is it, or I want a car, for example, or I want a car, they can throw away the I and A. They can just say, oh, want car, and they have communicated between themselves because they understand what they're saying. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're trying to understand what they're saying, you need to understand what they're signing. So you need to take what they're signing and put them together into words or into a phrase, and then like that is when you understand what they're signing. Because if you expect them to do like, oh, I want to go to the toilet, no, they will just say toilet, and you'll be like, okay, I understand what you're trying to say. But if you're expecting them to be like, oh, please, can I do this? Like, no, they are going to throw away a lot of, you know, English language is even quite bogus. It's a quite bogus language. So they're going to throw away all this I, a, do, you know, and then they're going to be like, and then another thing they're going to do is they are not going to sign past, present, and present participle. What's the thing they call the total? No. Yes, there are past tense, and then there is, you know, continuous. That, like, for example, when you finish signing, save, for example. So if you want to do saved, you just do this and D. Yes, I'm not saying, of course, you want to do saving. Yes, those things exist in sign language, but when they are interpreting to you, most of the time they will not use all this saved or saving. So you need to understand what you're saying by the words they are in there. They are signing to you. You cannot just stay there, and you cannot be expecting them to speak to you the way you will listen in sign language. That's almost impossible. And then the final one, number 10, learn. You will never stop learning words. You will never stop learning. Just during the week, I was watching New Amsterdam and I learned a new word. So apparently this is miss, and yeah, like I genuinely never knew the word before. You get, but because I was like paying attention to how they were saying, I was like, oh, that's miss. And then I think it was this church on like Easter Sunday that I learned the word success. Why? Because by the time I spelled it out, they were like, oh no, this is the word for it, and they corrected me. But because I'm always willing to learn, I mean, I picked it up quickly. Another experience I've also had was that same Easter Sunday. So before I started church, I just prayed, like I really take a quick prayer that, oh God, please just help me to sign, minister through me, so that I minister to them, or I sign the right thing to them, so that they leave here understanding what you are teaching or what you have ministered through the pastor or whoever that's on the pulpit, sorry. Yeah. And after the service, a lot of them were like, oh my God, you're doing so much better, you're improving, you're like, even I was amazed, I wouldn't lie. I was like, even I knew that day that as they were leaving, they had understood what the pastor was preaching, what our bishop was saying. They had taken their prayers, and they honestly felt like they had partaken of the blessing of that day. So if in my journey I'm not willing to learn, I wouldn't have learned a lot. I'll still be spelling, and spelling sometimes slows down how you, because remember, especially if you're interpreting, you're listening, you are signing, and you are listening. Like, the reason why I know you're listening, you're signing, and you're listening, because you listen to what they say, you're signing it, and you have to keep listening to what they are still saying, because they haven't stopped talking. This is not I'll speak in English, you speak in Yoruba, I'll speak in English, you speak in, no. They are going to keep talking, and you have to be the one to keep signing. And so learn, never stop learning. You can never finish learning. The way you never stop learning English language is basically the same thing. So before we go, we're going to do a rundown on the numbers itself, not the points. So it is, I don't know if you were able to pick it up from the video, but yeah, numbers in sign language 1 to 10. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you're doing it while I'm doing it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's do it one more time before we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clap for yourself. You have gotten the 1 to 10 in numbers. If you want to sign to any other person, anything 1 to 10, I'll teach you 11 to 20 another day. But if you want to sign 11 to 12, 11 and above, you can just do 1 and 1, and they understand you're saying 11. Okay? So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to take useful tips from it. These are things I was never informed about, that I had to learn along the way, or I had to learn in my own personal journey of learning sign language. And yeah, if you're already learning sign language and you think you also have some observations that I didn't mention, please put it down in the comment section below, so that our other NSL community can witness it. If you also believe that, oh okay, there's some things that you figured out how to understand what you're saying, you can also put it in the comment section below. And then also, like I said, if you want to learn sign language, you can subscribe to this channel, so that you follow me while I'm teaching, because I'm teaching how I learned, and I felt like that was one of the best ways to learn. And yeah, if you want to know any other thing about me, myself, why I learned sign language, I don't know, those kind of questions, you can also put it in the comment section, and I will definitely be there to reply, respond, and all of that. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to practice. All right, bye guys.